Hi, everybody. So, today I'm doing a very special Soul Rebirth Journey. And a Soul Rebirth Journey is 60 minutes of energy work and wisdom. And this is for Dylan. And Dylan is 8 years old. And having talked to Dylan's mother, he's pretty aware of the spirit realm and talks about soul purpose and reincarnation. And I'm very excited to have this experience today. And I'm just going to go ahead and relax then. Um, I'm not sure how Spirit's going to guide this, but I'm just going to go into your spiritual atmosphere, Dylan, and we're going to see what is there. We're going to learn about you today. And so I'm just going to relax and get connected with my higher self and my spirit guides, and your higher self and your spirit guides. And I'm going to allow your mother to decide if this wisdom is ready, if you are ready for this wisdom. I'm not sure how it's going to be expressed. It might be expressed on a more of an adult level, but maybe it would also be something you would be able to process as well. And so we're just gonna go and see what happens. I actually, you have a really intense vibration, spiritual vibration, and it's creating a lot of intense energy around my mental body, around my head. And it's showing itself as a really intense dark blue color. And there's a lot of it reminds me of pop, like, you know, how you open the pop can and then the fizzy bubbles come up. It's blue and it's got bubbles going all around the head. It's a really dark blue color. So, in the process of examining this, which you could just see it as you've got like a dark blue around the face, and it's like you're wearing a dark blue hat, okay? And fizzy bubbles. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off because it's kind of made out of rubber, and you don't want to have rubber covering your nose or your mouth. So, we want to be able to breathe, right? So, this is creating a little bit of, you need more breathability here, okay? More room to breathe. And when we have more room to breathe, it just means that we feel more light and airy and springier, and like life is about fun. You know, there's nothing difficult about life, and we can breathe, right? Because when life is difficult, we feel kind of like we're a little bit more clenched up, a little bit more unsure. But this is to actually help you to relax and know that you can be yourself, Dylan, and it's okay to breathe and be yourself. Now, when we breathe, we get all kinds of positive energy coming into our bodies, spiritual energy and physical energy too. And it's great because it's really like I can see already as I'm manifesting this, I'm helping your energy field to experience positive light and breath coming in. It's creating like this really big dazzling diamond right here, and it's going boo, like really, really bright, and it's expanding out in a way. It's really lovely. And it's funny. It's like bubbly and poppy and excited. And it's really intense. It's all about these blue colors. And there's like a light blue, really light blue. It almost looks like it could be white, but it's really light blue. And then there's darker blue, and it gets really, really dark blue in the center, but it's just goes out and away like a gorgeous diamond. Gorgeous, different, multi blue, different blue colored diamond. It's really dazzling. So as that's happening, we're going to go into the heart here because we're getting more ability to breathe and just open up our senses here. And these senses are not only just on the physical level. Like, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to do a great job today with my schoolwork. So we got to have our mental body in order. But this is also about spiritual enlightenment. And the light bulb turns on so we can see, but we also feel connected with the light and the love of creation. And so there's a lot of that kind of swirling around here, around the mental body, but it's also opening up the heart portal. is when the mental body starts to open up and say, I'm alive and I'm connected to lots of light and lots of love. Not only physical energy, but also spiritual energy. The heart is like, I want to participate. I want to be on that level too. Heart wants to open up now. Yeah, your head is pretty happy. Your head is feeling really, really happy. Like so happy. Like I feel like I could laugh. It makes me feel really good inside to feel how happy your head feels right now. I feel like I really like color and I want to see more color. So I'm actually, this is me working with your heart as well, because the heart really wants to come out to play, kind of thing. The heart really wants to join in, and the heart wants to skip, and it wants to run, and it wants to play tag, and it wants to play hide and go seek. So the heart is getting very excited. All the while I'm looking at a box of crayons with lots of different colors. And I'm looking at a white sheet of paper. And when we have a white sheet of paper and we have all these colors, we have a box of all these colors of crayons, and we have a plain white sheet of paper. So what are we going to create? You decide. You decide. It's your choice. Whatever you want to create, you get to do that. And it's not like it's already been created for you and then you just color in the lines. This time you're the artist. You're the dreamer. You get to put your imagination onto the page and use any color that you want to use in order to create anything you want to create. And it's cool because you can pick out, let's just say, a really bright pink. Maybe bright pink isn't your color. Maybe you like blue, or maybe you like green, maybe you like yellow, maybe you like all the colors. Either way, you pick a color out. I don't know why they keep showing me really bright pink, so I'm going to pick out really bright pink. And then I start to explore the way my heart feels as I'm using this color on a white sheet of paper. This is getting a little bit deeper here. It's getting a little bit more important feeling, a little bit more serious, because what we're creating here is teaching us something, is a message. There's wisdom in it. And a part of me isn't always sure what it is that I want to draw, that I want to create. And so when I am you in this story, as you, I am picking a color. I'm really excited to create my own picture, but I feel kind of lost in what that picture actually looks like. I don't know what it looks like. And my spirit guides talk to me about how my kids like to draw pictures of family. And so there's brother and sister, there's the animals, there's mom and dad, there's, trees and sunshines that are smiling. And so there's something here where we're not really sure what to color or what to draw, and it feels confusing. So we're continuing to just look at the page and not really sure where to go with it. There's a tiny little man that appears on the table, and he's dressed in a blue. He reminds me of a mailman. I don't know why he reminds me of a mailman, because he's dressed in a blue suit. So he's really fancy dressed, actual blue suit with a red tie and a white shirt underneath. But he reminds me of a mailman, and he has like a newspaper. It's rolled up in his hand, and it's got a rubber band around it. And it's a tiny little newspaper because he's a tiny little man. He's maybe 6 inches tall. And so this newspaper, he's handing it to you. He has a message for you. And he smiles at you because this message is going to be very good and very exciting. And now anything that we felt kind of lost when it came to figuring out what we wanted to color, what we wanted to draw, we can just let that feeling go. We don't have to explore that feeling any longer. We can explore what is in this newspaper. What is the message? And he wants to take you on a journey, and a journey into your imagination, Not just putting your imagination onto the paper, but actually living inside of your imagination and going places in the universe, and real places at that. He says, did you know that your imagination is actually a doorway? And if you walk into your imagination can take you anywhere you want to go in the universe. Off of this planet, you can go visit Mars if you wanted to. You could go walk on the sun if you wanted to. You could visit other people living in other places, in other dimensions, in other times. You can go to other lifetimes as well. You can go anywhere you want to go in this physical world, or in a spiritual world, or an interdimensional world. Worlds between worlds, other universes. He wants you to close your eyes, and we don't need to work with the crayons or the paper, because we're going to go beyond a human experience, and we're going to go into something far more far larger than we could imagine. So I see you closing your eyes, and you say, okay, mailman, where should I go? He says, why are you asking me? You're the master of your own universe. You decide where you want to go. Where do you want to go? He says, if it's a rainy day and you cannot play outside, you could sit on the couch and close your eyes and now see the playground you want to play at. And now walk into your imagination. Go touch the playground with your energy hand. Go down the slides, run around, go across the monkey bars, do the things on the playground that you might not be tall enough to reach certain things, or to get across the monkey bars. We don't know what it is. Or maybe you're a master at the playground. Maybe you can do everything. Maybe you should make this playground really, really big. Bigger than it's ever been, and then you could be my size, and you could pretend you're a fairy. You could transform this playground into the ocean, and the playground is now underneath the water. And what would it be like to try to go across the monkey bars underwater? You wouldn't have to worry about getting tired, because the water would hold you up there. And if you fell off the monkey bars, you would just gently fall to the sandy beach and underwater, and it would be perfectly fine. You would never get hurt. He says, you see how fun your imagination can be when you actually step into your imagination. So much more fun this way. He shows me he also has a magical wand, but this magical wand is also kind of reminds me of a conductor. There you have a symphony, and then you have a man that stands and then he uses hands to tell the instruments, you can play next, and now it's your turn to go. And so he's conducting the symphony. So this is like a conducting wand, but it's also a magical wand. And he shows me that it creates sparkle at the tip of it. He shows me a very unusual picture of you using the wand to pick your nose. He says, is that what wands are used for, picking noses? Do you think you could pick your nose with this wand? What else could you do with this wand? What do you think? Do you feel like you need a wand to go anywhere in your imagination, or do you feel like you could snap your fingers and go anywhere you decide to go? He says, maybe we don't need a magical wand. Maybe we just need an idea. Maybe we just need a place to start with. And maybe if we don't know what that place is, we could explore what it might be inside of our heart, and then allow our heart to open us up to it. Have you ever tried to imagine a place that you can't even imagine? And how would you imagine it? He shows me that your heart is big and red, and it's full of energy and inspiration. So inspiration to go places, to do things, to see things, to play, to be actively taken to paint or to to do anything. But this heart inspiration, we don't know how to describe what it looks like. So how I feel it is, I experience your heart as really big and red and excited, excited about a curiosity, a mystery, what it could be. I don't know. That kind of feeling, right? We don't know what it is, but I want to know what it is. So how do we work with that feeling? So the heart is really big, and it wants to know something that it doesn't know about. He says you can still discover even if you don't know what it is yet. That is a powerful that's a powerful magical tool to go beyond anything you can even imagine, beyond your imagination. So I'm still working here with the heart, and we're opening your heart up to what is beyond your imagination. And we have to work with our feelings as a portal, as a doorway to go into a place that we can't even imagine what it might look like. I'm going to stay here because there's a lot of energy circulating in the heart, and it's also circulating around the mental body, which is all of this, all of your head region, all of this is circulating. So things are starting to slow down, and it feels a little bit more serious. And we're starting to realize that we're back at the paper, and we don't really know what to put on the paper. I can't decide what it is that I'm going to color today. And it feels a little confusing. He says maybe this is what we're talking about. A time when you can't imagine it. You don't know what it is. And so now we are waiting to know what it is. He says sometimes you can just color, and you don't have to know what it is that you are coloring. You can just color shapes and see how the shapes turn into a picture. He says now you are going through your heart. This is complicated. This is actually complicated. I'll just describe what I see. So he shows me that you start to color what are like puzzle pieces on the page. So here we have a green one, and puzzle pieces usually have like kind of a little ball on two ends or three ends, and then an opening where it's going to fit into other puzzle pieces. So you don't know what you're going to color, but I see a green puzzle piece. You just draw it a shape, and then you draw another shape. This time this is just an orange square. A really simple orange square. But then here you decide you're going to connect another puzzle piece to this puzzle piece, and it's like a reddish color. And then you decide to draw a line from the top of this triangle into this puzzle piece, and then another line from this part of the puzzle piece to this triangle. And now you realize if you color it in, you made yourself a puzzle piece without even creating the shape. So now you can connect shapes together as though they're puzzle pieces starting to fit into place. And I start to see this picture as being filled with all different types of shapes. And the shapes are connected to each other. And they're connected through colors and lines. And so everything is now connected. And the final piece, the final image is actually just different shapes and different colors. And there's all connected. So what does this mean? What does it mean if it looks like this? If it is not a face that we recognize, or it's not the sun and the green tree, if the picture is just an image of different colored shapes that are connected, what does this image mean? He says this image means so much. Did you ever think that the shapes could be people themselves? Every single shape is a person. Did you ever think of the shapes with smiley faces smiling back at you? And now we have what are, let's say you did something extraordinary, and we've got 50 shapes all connected together, different colors, and now maybe 100 shapes, and then 200, 500 shapes on one single sheet of paper. And you created this. And every single shape has a happy face that is smiling. Now, what do the shapes mean? Now, what does this picture mean? He says, you see how we're igniting understanding and meaning without really knowing what it means. And he's telling you that it's about happiness and it's about love. And he is telling me that every single one of these shapes is a spirit of love that is around you, that loves you, that gives you hugs during the day, that helps you when you fall or you get hurt, when you feel lonely, or you want to play and you can't play outside, something of this kind. There is a beautiful spirit that is smiling at you at all times of the day. Even when you're happy, they're all very happy too with you, and jumping up and down. And so now all these shapes are all these spiritual friends that love you very much. He says, can you imagine having 50 spiritual friends around you? And now 100, and now 200, and now 500 spiritual friends around you, loving you, hugging you, helping you through everything in your day. He says it doesn't feel so like you're just one person. It starts to feel like you're one person surrounded by many people that love you. And he says, the mailman, the messenger, says that you are surrounded by a lot of love, more than just in the spirit realm. Everything is slowing down and relaxing. All of this message is energy, and this energy is all entering into your heart and opening your heart up to who you are and what you are capable of experiencing, and the creativity and the joy. And it's just getting more and more open to color and frequency of love and feeling surrounded by love. It's, again, the energy is still shifting and it's starting to change. And I feel like we're going to bed now. I feel like we are in bed and I'm sleepy and I'm tucked in and there's a soft pillow. I'm really sleepy. I really want to go to sleep now. There's a beautiful open window and the moonlight shines in. There's a feeling of how precious you are. You're precious, you are loved, you are cherished, you are very meaningful gift. You are a blessing. You are. I feel that these messages, you may not hear them all the time in words, but they are being shared with you all the time. In the air is sharing this message of love with you in these words all the time. And there's something of the stars that sparkle outside around the moon, and every star in the sky loves you very much. And the stars start to look like people, and the people start to fill your room, and now it's like 500 spirits in your room, somehow filling your room. They have plenty of space. Even 500 spirits can fit into your room. And they all have a way of hugging you at the exact same time. And they just start to turn into light, and your room is full of light, even at nighttime. All of these smiling shapes are part of the stars, and the stars turn into people that smile and love you very much. And they fill your room at night while you sleep, and they share very kind messages of this kind with you. that you are cherished, that you are loved, that you are so meaningful to me. I am so glad you are a part of my life. I love you, Dylan, very much. You touch my heart with your smile, with your soul, with your happiness. It's a lot of love, and it feels like your mother is standing here as a spiritual reflection, but also as a human being, and sharing these messages with you, and sometimes through her voice and sometimes through the air. And whether you hear it with your human ear or not, you can receive every one of these messages inside your heart, the human messages of love and the spirit messages of love. And while you sleep, these messages of love are surrounding you and holding you and helping you to feel safe, helping you drift into a beautiful sleep. Everything is very peaceful. There is kindness here that sits at the bed and watches you while you sleep and lightly touches your cheek, gives your cheek a kiss, feels even closer and giving you a hug. And you don't even know it's happening because you're sleeping. And your mother loves you very much. Very, 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 very much. I feel that. This energy is just emanating right now, and it's really powerful to feel it, and it's just pure love. It's just love, and it's wonderful. It almost feels like the waves in the ocean. You know, they're always moving, and the love too is much like the waves in the ocean, and it's always moving. And it's like the frequency of love, because love is a vibration too, like a gong. You know, you hit the gong and then it just, you hear the sound going forever and ever until you can't hear it anymore. And even when you can't hear it anymore, that vibration is still happening. And love is like that, and it just keeps vibrating forever and ever. And it's like the waves on the ocean will never stop moving, and the love is the same way. It's so lovely. It's just, I start to see this image, which would be your mother sitting by you. There you are in bed, sitting on your bed, and she gives you hugs and gives you a kiss on the cheek, and I feel the waves of love moving. And then I see this image becomes a picture, actually like the original sheet of paper that we saw before any color got on it. I see that it now is a reflection of this picture, of this image here, and it was an image that you colored in yourself. You actually made this picture, and every single white space is color to it. And it's interesting because the picture of the scene shows me by your table, by your bed, there's a little table, like a nightstand, and there is a candle, a lit candle, and it's got an olden feel to it. It's in a saucer with you kind of hold it, so it's like an older looking candle, one that you could pick up on the side, and then the wax just burns into this little tray here. and I see you sleeping, and the image looks like it comes from an older time. And the darkness of the room is dark blue, and it goes into waves of lighter colored blue as it reaches you, and you are sort of glowing this really light blue emanation. And the candlelight too, it also is colored really light blue, and then it goes out into darker and darker blues. So we have these sort of waves of energy that go around in a circle that surround you and your mother, and then this candle. And it's all really light color blue that goes into darker color blues. And then your faces are like peach colors, but everything else is basically different colors of blue. And the flame of the candle is like an orange and like a yellow and like a yellowish white that turns into a light blue. It's a really beautiful picture. I like it very much. It looks like an oil painting. I mean, it looks like a professional picture, like somebody who did oil paintings, like, a long time ago, Monet or some famous painter painted this. But it was you that did it. It was you that made this picture. And in this picture, you help people to see that love happens in color and waves. And it's really bright sometimes, and sometimes in places it gets darker. But that doesn't mean the light isn't still in those darker places. It's just the way that the waves move, the waves of love move. And in the center of the picture, we see there you are sleeping. There's your mother here on the bed, and then the candlelight is near to you both. It's really lovely. I'd like to share messages too from your father, but it feels like we're going to centralize it about you and your mother. But let's see where we go next. Okay, this is a really difficult picture to describe. There's gravel, like chunks of rock, and they're all white and they're jagged. And I see you kind of half buried in, like you could go play on a sand dune, but imagine half your body getting like buried in the sand dune, and so the rest of you is just like at the hips, you're kind of like out. But it's more so kind of by the rib cage, so you're kind of buried, but this is gravel and not sand. So you're sort of buried in this gravel, and then your arms are kind of going back and forth. And we see that how you are buried is in the shape of a triangle that goes upside down. So there's an upside down triangle, and then if we were to draw the picture the rest of the way, we just see all the rest of this is filled in with like circles, which would be the white gravel. It's like white gravel. So here we have like a rectangle, and then there's an upside down triangle, and everything's filled in with white gravel. Except the triangle is what you're wearing, which is kind of tan colors and then dark red and black. And it feels like you're waving your hand for somebody to see that, hey, I'm stuck in the gravel here. But for some reason, there's more gravel that keeps getting put. So you're basically buried to your shoulders, and only your head is sticking out, and your hands don't have the ability to flag anybody down. And you're kind of worried, and you feel sad, because nobody is seeing the fact that you need help right now, and now you're getting more buried in the gravel, and you don't have any way out of it. You only have a way out if somebody were to stop what they're doing, putting the gravel here, burying you in the gravel, and to see that you need help. Your spirit guides are telling you that if you ever feel like you're buried in the gravel and you need somebody to help you, believe it or not, you're actually not buried in gravel. Sometimes life makes us feel a certain way, But the truth is always about the joy and the happiness that you're feeling in your heart. And your spirit guides tell you, your higher self tells you about, remember the pictures with all the puzzle pieces that are smiling at you. Whenever you feel like life, like your human life, makes you feel like you're getting buried into gravel, and remember that picture with 500 smiling faces in different shapes, and how they come also from the stars and they fill your room at night. They can also surround you in their happiness and their love for you here in this moment, in this feeling. And they each can use their hands to take every single one of these rocks off. And your spirit guides and higher self tell you, Dylan, that when you feel like you're buried in rocks, the feeling isn't actually physical. It feels that way, and so we describe it in this way, but you have arms and legs. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. You can move your body however you want. So how come the feeling makes us create an image that feels physically like it's there? And the spirit realm says, do you feel like there's gravel around you? Now I want you to feel like there are 500 happy faces, smiling faces, and they're picking off every single one of these gravel rocks and they're throwing them aside. And they are here to help you feel like you can move about and jump around and play again. The spirit realm is saying that there are more helpers than you could see with your physical eyes, but you can see them in your imagination. And you can ask them to help you. And especially if your feelings, if you can see your feelings creating, well, it feels like I am, stuck in the gravel and I need somebody to get me out. Now you can bring into that imagination, which is also your feelings, people to help you get unburied from the gravel. They're telling me that you are wise and that you that you're developing into a healer, to be a spiritual healer. So you're healing yourself when you're doing this, and you heal with love. And you heal other people. You can heal other people through your imagination. For instance, they show me that in your imagination you can see your mother, and in your imagination you can see your father. And what you have the power to do is to say that this is really my mom here in my imagination. She's in my imagination, but this is her spirit, and her spirit is connected to her body. And when I put love into her spirit, now that love comes into her body, and now her body heals. And here's my father. And I see that this is his spirit, and this is the spirit that is in his body. And now I'm going to put love into his spirit. And you can even take your crayon box and in your imagination and draw a big happy heart on top of your father's heart, where it would be, and a big happy heart where your mom's heart would be. And then you can just see that there's a light bulb that turns on, and now the hearts start to glow. But you feel that they are full of love, and they're full of happiness, and they're full of joy. And then you start to know, you have to know within yourself that they do feel this in their body, and that this gift from your imagination is actually taking place in real life, in the physical world. That's how I do the work that I do. So I don't have to know what you look like. I don't have to know where you live. I use my imagination. But instead of imagining anything, I just let the spirit realm show me. So they open things up to me, and now suddenly I feel things. Like I feel how your energy field makes me feel and reminds me of bubbles and dark blue. But then it's also showing me that the image is showing me that, well, there's some sort of cap here, and we need to open this up so you can feel like you can breathe, right? And you can feel like you can grow in any direction you want to grow, because growth is all about love. And I feel your heart. So now you see how my imagination starts to take off. It's not just about me creating everything, but I get to participate in my imagination. And when I do energy work to heal people, I let their spirit, I let their infinite universe, because you are an infinite universe of your own kind, to take me places to teach me about you, and then share messages that can help you in your life. Because the reality is, Dylan, we're here to help each other. So I'm here to help you and your mom, your dad, anybody, any spirit, any human that wants my help. that says, "Hey, Abby, I'd love to get your opinion on this from a spiritual angle, and I could really use some healing for this going on in my life." I'm there because I love to do this. I love to make people feel better, and I think you also love to make people feel better, and you have the ability to do really wonderful things to help people feel really good inside. One thing that that's also powerful to know is people people want to receive healing, and sometimes people aren't ready for healing. So if you want to heal somebody, but they're not ready for it yet, that love will still go to them, and it'll be there for them when they are ready for it. So you could share love with somebody for years and years and years, and it feels like it's never getting into them. How come they aren't receiving it? Well, it's because they haven't opened up to receiving it yet. So it's like angels. Angels can come help anybody on the planet, that they have to allow that love in for the angel to make a difference. And there's human beings that are not aware of angels. And if they're not aware of angels, then they can never let that love in, you know? So we choose. We choose to let the love in, or we say, I'm kind of afraid, or I'm going through something that's making me feel separated. And the amazing thing about your age, Dylan, kids at 8 years old, like kids in general, are so good at reminding us old people how to love. And we get sometimes lost in whatever we're going through, and we need that reminder that we need a hug, and we need to slow down, or we need to get the crayons out and color a picture, and to be our creative sides. And you kids, you Dylan especially too, I see it radiating in your spiritual atmosphere, have a very powerful way of being a beautiful reminder for us older people to be the child again, and to come to your world of imagination and color and love. And that makes you feel brighter and makes us feel brighter too. So it's important to know that you have the power to share that love and to heal anybody in the planet, even heal the whole planet, heal the tree, heal the animals, heal the insects, and to put that love into everything that you do, and to see what comes out of it. But you'll learn a lot along the way. You're going to learn a lot along the way. For instance, they show me what is you accidentally step on a bug, and you see that, oh gosh, this bug is definitely squashed. Now, if you put healing into that bug's physical body, what do you think is going to happen? Is it going to just reanimate it? Is it going to go into the spirit of that bug? Do you feel like you have the power to reanimate a body that is crushed? And don't let anybody tell you what you are capable of or not capable of. You can do the impossible. You can do anything that you put your heart into it. And the more you put your heart into it, the universe can show you how a technique or a new way through the frequency, the waves, right, of love. Because the waves of love are wise. And we work with those waves in order to become wiser and more loving, more healing for others, all that stuff. So I see them handing. It looks like a lightning bug. You know, the bugs that have the little lights on their butts and they come out at nighttime. It looks like a lightning bug that got smashed on the ground here. So I'm picking it up, and then I'm handing it to you, and then we'll put it in your hand. And now you're going to look at the lightning bug that got stepped on, and you can see in your imagination that what it looks like, because it looks like he got stepped on. And so we're going to look at the bug, and there's something about looking into the heart of the bug, not just the body, and then to learn about what we old people call divine timing, which you may know about divine timing, which is that the moment that this bug received this gift, it seems like on a human level, oh, oops, I accidentally stepped on you. It actually was its purpose in that moment to transition from being the lightning bug into a new experience. So sometimes we can see that we accidentally did something like ran over the grasshopper or whatever. And then we say that, you know what, even though this is sad to look at, this is also beautiful because life continues to move on, just like the waves, right? Just like the waves in the ocean, and the waves of love will never stop. They'll never stop moving. And so even this bug is still moving. Even if he stopped moving here as the crushed bug, he is still part of the waves of the love. Whether he's in the physical body or he's not, you know? And it just keeps going and going and going and going, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And there's spirit guides, there's like wise voices that want you to keep this lightning bug in your hand, and to explore what it means to you. They say that this is a precious gift. I know it's a crushed lightning bug, but there's more to this than meets the eye. There's far more to this than meets the eye. There's something very precious about this. So let's see where they want to go with it. They ask you, what is it that you think that you are holding in your hand? Most human beings would say a crushed lightning bug. And they shake their head and they say, if that is all you see in your hands, then you're only seeing one thing. And this world is like a crayon box, and every color in the crayon box is another perspective of what you could see. One of them says you see creation, and creation is beautiful, and you can see the lightning bug's life. Actually look at the lightning bug and see its life from beginning to end. You could see how you participated in the circle of life. You could see the spirit of the lightning bug. You could see the creation of the lightning bug, not just how it looks as it's squashed, but about its gift to the world. But you can see even more than that. And they say that if you open up the library of this one lightning bug, you will start to see thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands of pages of information. And it's all just this lightning bug. This one lightning bug in the palm of your hand is full of enlightenment. That's what they say. Enlightenment is wisdom and awareness. You know, you can go to school and you can learn all kinds of stuff at school about numbers and math and reading, and this is going to help you with how you get through the day-to-day life as you get older and older and you turn into one of us old people. We gotta write and we gotta read, we gotta crunch the numbers, so this education helps us get through the day-to-day livings of life, and it teaches us about friendships and about teachers and all that other stuff. But there's something about the knowledge that we learn at school, but where's the wisdom? Wisdom is something far more vast than in the education that you would get at school. Education is important for the human world, but wisdom is important too, for life and for learning and for being a part of the waves of love in a way that you feel connected to more than you can see with your human eyes. You can see it in your imagination. Wisdom is to see that this lightning bug is more than just a crushed bug. Knowledge is the lightning bug is crushed, the lightning bug is dead. Wisdom is this lightning bug is a vast library of information about creation, about love, about the beginning and the end, which there is no beginning and there is no end. It's about reincarnation. It's about love. It's about all these things. So wisdom is going to see this lightning bug as many colors as you could get in a crayon box and then some, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And all it is a lightning bug that had gotten crushed in your hand. And so there's knowledge, but there's wisdom that is going to take you so much further, so much further. So again, they show me the lightning bug in my hand, and then I am putting it in your hand. And this is a gift. This is a very powerful gift. And this is a gift of wisdom, is what they say. Everything is very quiet right now. They show me, we're looking back at you are imagining, here's your mother, here's your father, and then you're drawing a heart and a happy face and to make them feel really good. And you know that this is more than just your imagination, this is real. So this is your real mom, this is your real dad, and you're putting love into them to give them a gift of love and healing. They're saying, though, put yourself also into picture. It's all important too that you give yourself also gifts of love and healing, because you deserve those hugs and you deserve that love too. That's important that you know that. And they show me now, in your imagination, we see you in your imagination, and we're drawing a heart with a happy face, and then all these shapes from the picture are starting to gravitate towards you, and they're so colorful, and they're all smiling, and they're starting to just circulate around you, and they all just hug you all at the same time, and they just say, we love you, we love you, we love you, and we love you so much, we love you so much. Dylan, you are so wonderful, you're so wonderful, we love you so much. And they just say that over and over and over and over and over again. Just like the waves in the ocean, they'll never stop. They'll never stop. And this love will never stop either. I see you again, relaxing. You're about to fall asleep. It's nighttime. You're in your bed. And your heart is opening up, and you are really enjoying all these loving faces that are there with you at night when it's just you in your room, and the stars that come into the window to give you gifts of love and hugs. You're very tired, and you're starting to just drift off to sleep. Very, very tired. You're drifting off to sleep. I feel this. So I'm in the story of what I'm experiencing, but I also am feeling the story moving me places. So as you drift off to sleep, I am gravitating into a new experience. It's so quiet. It feels a bit too dark, because there's no stars shining in this time. I open the door. I am like an angel, and I come into the dark room, and I say, Dylan, you don't have to sit in the dark room. You get to choose if you want to see it as dark or if you want to see it as full of light and color. Remember, anything that you might feel, if it feels dark, that darkness can be taken away just like that, very quickly. All you have to do is open the door and let love in, and let the light in, let the stars come in. Start to see that this room isn't so dark, and now create a window. The window is open and the starlight comes in, and all these happy shapes, so colorful, are here in the room too, and you can see them. The bed is here as well. You tell me that this time it's really hard. It's a lot harder to, it just feels like it's harder this time to do it, but I am seeing that you are bringing these images back into the room, so it's not so dark. It's starting to fill with the light. I noticed that this candle, this really old candle, it's got purpose and it has meaning, because it looks like a physical candle, but really the flame is not, the light is not what is out there, Dylan. It is what is within yourself. And so I put this candle, the flame of the candle actually, and I take it in my hand and then I place it into your heart, okay? So now the flame is within your heart and the light is within yourself, okay? The light and the warmth is within you. And when the light and the warmth is within you, now you radiate light. And now anything else just goes away. If it feels too dark, it just vanishes because it can't feel that way. With you radiating the light from within you, right? The candlelight inside yourself. So this time you show me too that the flame is within your heart. But sometimes I feel like I feel just still sad. I still feel sad even with the light in my heart, and even seeing some of the shapes and the smiles, and it's getting lighter in here. I still feel sad. I say, well, then you need to talk about that. You need to simply talk about that when you feel sad. And not with the spirit realm this time, but with real human beings like your mom and your dad. You need to talk about it. And you definitely should talk about it. Sometimes it feels like you could really go into discovering about the world, about yourself, in your own world. And you're very young to do that. I don't know what level you would be aware that you were doing that, but when I talk to you about talking about how you feel with your mom and your dad, you actually go into a place where you deeply think about doing that. Instead of just standing up and going to do that, you're waiting a moment to really think about if that is something you want to do or not. I tell you that, sometimes us old people, like I said, we need reminders. We need the kids' hugs and time with the crayons. So we need reminders from kids to be childlike and lighthearted, not so serious all the time. But sometimes kids need reminders too. So it's okay to say, hey, I feel, hey mom or hey dad, I feel sad and I just need a hug. Or just give your parents a hug and they will hug you right back. And then you can try and talk to them as best you know how. Or maybe you could color a picture, whatever it might be. But communication is really important because we gotta understand each other somehow, some way. We gotta try. And this angelic reflection of myself is still in the doorway. I still see you kind of against the wall, not sitting down against the wall, not in bed. But there's color, there's the potential for happiness here. But it's kind of, we're going into deep thought, and we see the flame within you, but there's still something that you're unsure about. And I'm standing here. I am seeing myself now transforming into what is your mother. So your mother is standing at the door and she's reaching her hand out to you. And you smile. And I see your mother is an angel. And she has got golden light that comes off of her, radiates off of her. And she comes down and she picks you up and holds you in her arms. And she says, I love you, Dylan, very, very much. Her spirit shows me how this is her imagining Dylan here, and she is putting love into Dylan so Dylan can feel strong and happy the way she wants you to feel. And so this is through me, her doing this for you through my help. And it's really beautiful. It's really meaningful. she just keeps hugging you, and you're receiving the light from within her heart. There's a flame, and it enters into your flame and makes your flame grow brighter. And when your flame grows brighter, her flame grows brighter too. So you both are just getting really, really bright flames in your hearts together. That is really, really lovely. Hmm. Hmm. I'm just going to allow this to continue to emanate and allow this energy to continue to fill your heart with love. And just relaxing everything. So for me, I feel this waves of information as I connect with you, Dylan. And then when I relax and I know that the work is complete, I just allow the waves to continue to emanate, the waves of love to emanate into you, but they also emanate out from you too. And as that happens, I find myself gravitating more and more into feeling like myself. So we're all a part of the waves, and all the waves are going in all different directions. And it's pretty cool. So I'm starting to feel more and more like myself. I'm definitely more in my body now and way more relaxed, way more myself feeling. That's how far your imagination can take you if you let it. It's pretty cool, isn't it? You're just 8 years old. You've got a whole life ahead of you. There's so much you can discover and share with the world, if you feel that is where you want to go with your life. But you're only 8 years old, so you just need to enjoy life and be happy and be 8 years old. All right. I want to thank you, Dylan, for sharing your soul with my soul today. I really loved getting to know your vibrations and sharing this message with you. And I want to thank your mother as well, for exploring this with me. It's really touched my heart today. And for those of you watching, if any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I want to thank you all for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful day.